Hello and welcome back. In this video, I'll show you how you can scrape flight, the prices, the amount of stops, the departure time, and some other features. You can actually play around with it and even get more data about the flights, which is available on the site we're going to scrape. The site we're going to scrape is Kayak because it's one of the most popular flight websites. Yeah, I'm also trying out to film myself while I do this because it's just a little bit more professional. It gives a more professional look, even though it's not really in a professional setting with the lights. I can tell that could probably be a little bit better, but yeah, I think it looks nice. So yeah, that's me. I actually think I made a video where I showed myself, but yeah, no mind. So I've created this YouTube tutorial, so we are good to go. And if you're wondering, my camera is actually on my other screen because I've done this before, so I might take a little bit of inspiration from there if I get stuck and trying to rethink the process I was going through when I initially scraped the site. So that's, if you're wondering, I'm actually looking at myself. I'm not looking somewhere else right now. So yeah. All right, I will just let you know that. All right, so let's start off by making a file, and we'll call this scraping.py. All right, so we need a few things to get started. First of all, the content is loaded through JavaScript, so you have to use Selenium to get the data. And there's a lot of great tutorials out there on how you can download it, so I'm not gonna waste time telling you how to download it and showing you it. And also I'm gonna assume that you know how to import libraries. And if not, look it up on YouTube, how to import libraries. Maybe with Anaconda. I use Anaconda myself. It makes it a lot easier, always having the same environment. Yeah, but I'm not gonna show you how to do that here. So if you got that out of the way and you installed the libraries we need, I'll tell you right now what we need. And the Selenium Chrome driver. You can also use Firefox or whatever you like. I know that the Firefox one works just the same as the Chrome one. I'm not really sure if it's like that on all browsers. I know that sometimes websites may look different on the sites, but I'm not sure if the HTML tags are the same. But nonetheless, Chrome works, Firefox works. It's up to you what you like the best. All right. So first of all, we're gonna import time, and that is just for saying to the Chrome driver that it needs to sleep, because if we don't give it any sleep, we might break the server or whatever, and we are trying to be nice with the server. So we're gonna import sleep from time, import sleep. Yeah, and we also need pandas, so import pandas as PD, and we need Selenium, and we need the web driver like this. And I'm also using Beautiful Soup because I think it's very neat to when you have the HTML, work with Beautiful Soup. So we're actually using Selenium to get the HTML, and then we're using Beautiful Soup to extract whatever we need. But of course you can do it with Selenium only, but for this video I will import Beautiful Soup as well. So, oh, that didn't quite work, the autocorrect. Import Beautiful Soup, there you go. All right, so I think that's all we need. And if not, maybe we can import the OS library because we can then we can then save the data in a CSV file on our computer if that is what we would like. I have actually made myself a scraper that runs on AWS, which every 24 hours send me an email with all the flights, and I can then, without going to the website all day and checking, just check my mail when I wake up and see if the prices has changed. I can also make a video about that if you guys are interested. If you leave a comment and say I would like that, I will definitely make a video. So yeah, it's up to you whether you want the video or not, whether the video is coming or not. But for now, we will just scrape some data here. All right, so first we need to initialize the driver. So we will say driver, and then we say WebDriver, and we're using Chrome. Again, you can use Firefox if you want. Then we need the URL to the website. So for that, we will go into Kayak like this. And this is how it would look. It would it will be without these values here, but because I've been on the website before, or I can see that the my screen here, my little icon is not moving with it. So yeah, you cannot see me while I speak about the website. I hope that's okay. Yeah, so you come in here, and you would think that you will just have to type wherever location you want to fly to. So for this, we will just say Lanaka in Cypern. And I live in Copenhagen, so that's where I'm flying to. Actually, it's the opposite, so it's Copenhagen. There you go, to, and then we will say like this, and then you can define the dates that you are looking to book a flight. So my vacation is from 11th here. July to 20th July, and you can actually play around with the dates. You can see that if you have some more time, if you have a little bit more flexible, you can actually do whatever. You can do plus 3 days if you're not looking to fly on any particular day. Actually. So you can play around with your search, whatever you want, but I'm just gonna stick with this one, which is from Copenhagen to Cypern here, with plus 1 or 2 days. It's in Danish, but the tax and everything should be the same, so that doesn't really matter. But yeah. So you can see that we have these like different cards where all the flights are. So you can see the first flight, and how many stops and the duration of the flight. And here we can see the return flight from Cypern to Copenhagen. And we can also see the duration here, and we can have a look at the price as well. So now that we know that this is our URL, we will check this, because there's no need for you to go into Kayak and use like common keys. WebDriver have some, you can make some keystrokes from a library they have, but there's no need for that. So you have to be think about that when you what's the smartest way to reach your goal. There's no need to do anything extra or whatever. You're just gonna get the data that you want. So we will just call this URL directly. So for that, we will just define the URL. So we will say URL equals, and then the URL that we just saw. Yeah, so like this. And you can actually, if you want to make this dynamic, you can do that. So I'm gonna do it for one example here, just to show you how it's done, and then you can play around with it yourself. So you can actually say that if you want to play around with the destination, that's probably what you're actually gonna play around with. So you can make this, and then you can say format, and then we will just say that we will call this to location, and we can specify here to location is equal to location, and we'll just define what location is up here. To location is equal to, like this. So remember that here it's Kuban, it's Lakaner. I'm not really sure what the name was, but Lakaner, I think it was. They often, I mean, this one is Copenhagen, so CPH. So you have to be aware of that, so you don't type in Copenhagen, and because then it will not work. All right. So now that we say that the location that is here is equal to location, and this is our location. So then you can just play around with this one or scrape whatever flights. All right, so for the next line, we will get the URL. We'll tell the driver to get the URL. So we say driver.get, and then we will get the URL. And here I would like to make the program sleep for like 10 seconds or so. So we make it sleep for 10 seconds. Actually, we will try to run it. And I have to move myself a little bit, maybe here. So if I click run now, it should open up a browser in Chrome for me and put in the URL that I just specified. So we'll see if it does that. Yeah. The first time it's always kind of slow. I don't really know why, but I think that when you have done it like 3 times, it's like, okay, I know this is gonna happen again sometime, so I better be ready. All right, so as you can see now, we have a problem. Because we would like to scrape more results later on, and the later results is down here, but we cannot access the page before this is closed. So the first thing that we're actually gonna do is that if you type in Command Option I, you will get the inspector. You can also right click on the page, and there is this one. I think it's called Inspect in English. And then you just press here, and it should open it up. This one, this developer tools. So yeah. So what we will do is that we want to press this button. So we have to tell Selenium to press this button. So if we click on here, you can actually inspect it further. So we can see that we have this right here, which is the class of the button. So sometimes they will change the website, and you can't do anything about that. So you just have to, if it breaks, it don't work no more. Maybe if you're watching this video in a half a year, the website has probably changed some things. This could be one of them. For now it's working, and it has been working for at least 2 weeks. So I mean, they don't update it every day like that. They update some things randomly. I guess I'm not really sure if they do it to make it harder for people to scrape. I can show you what I mean in a moment, but just keep it there. Okay, but what I like to do is that if I click on this and I copy it and I click on Command F and I paste it, we can see that the only thing on the whole source here is with this name is actually this close button. So that's a pretty good indicator for us that this is a good one to click on. So that's unique. So Selenium knows what we're talking about, basically. So what you could do is that if you copy the XPath like this, we can go in here and then we can say, so we'll just call it pop-up window equals, and then we will get this. And as you can see, when we copy the XPath, it's from this ID right here, and that ID is the body ID, and the body ID is dynamic, so it don't work every time. It actually never really works because this is randomly generated, so the next time it will be KL5 or whatever, like that, and then it cannot find it. So in order to bypass that, you can look at XPath documentation. I'm not really going to talk too much about it, but I have this line over here. I'm just going to copy and paste it like this, and as you can see, the classes here, and we just say we want a div with the class of this, and then there's only one element as we saw earlier with this class, so we can just do that and be sure that Selenium knows what we are referring. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is that we're gonna find this element. So we're gonna find the element by the XPath, and then we will paste this pop-up window. It's not pop window, it's pop-up window. So let me just get that. And what we're going to do with that is that we're going to click it. So we will click it. So when we're going to the website now, it's going to load up. It's going to get us a pop-up, and we're just going to click that. And now we have a now we can work around with the data. So actually, I'm just going to run it so you can see, and then I can talk you through, and that way. My camera won't disappear because I can inspect it in the Selenium Chrome browser. So yeah. So now right now it's sleeping, and in a few moments it should click on the button, the pop-up button. So yeah, I've set it to 10 seconds, so it should take a while. Actually, I can see that it stopped running, so let's just check that. So it did not find it. Yeah, this is gonna happen to you a lot. There's always some kind of, what is happening kind of moments. So it says that it's unable to locate the element. That is weird. That is actually quite weird. What default? I'm just looking at my other screen because there's no need for me to try, like debug things right here. But what I will do in this situation is that I would go into this inspector once again, and because then maybe there's a problem. So yeah, let's see. I'm gonna click on inspect. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna copy it, and then we're gonna take all this, boom. Okay, so of course we need it inside these, like this. Oh, there was, what, did they actually change it? Oh, I think, oh my god, I have messed up a bit, I think. Let me just check. Yeah. Mod default, mod variant. All right. So that means all right. All right, so as you can see, like this div, the role of this div is the button. So we have to click that. We will not click this one. We have to click this one because that's the button. That's the problem. That was the problem. So I have to paste that in instead. Yeah. All right. We'll try again. We'll try again. I think that was the fault. Even though I've already done it, I'm still learning. So yeah. All right. All right. It failed. Oh my god. I forgot the sleep. I think I did the sleep. I don't know why they didn't put it. Sleep. So yeah. As you can see, it didn't work right here because the pop-up hadn't showed up. It's loaded through JavaScript, so it's like in 3 seconds, 4 seconds, 5 seconds, I don't know, the pops up, but we're trying to close it without getting the page rendered, and then it will give us a failure because there's no button at that moment. So we're gonna set it to sleep for 10 seconds. You could possibly set it to even lower, but just to make sure that the site has loaded, we're giving it 10 seconds. That should be more than enough. So let's just see. So yeah, and there comes the pop-up. And we can see up in the right corner that it's still loading. Oh, and there you go. I didn't click anything and the pop-up has now closed. Okay, nice. So the next thing that we're gonna do is we have to, now that the pop-up is closed, we can now actually start extracting the data. So that is what we're going to do. Let me just make it a little bit bigger. So you have to find some kind of pattern to each site. There's always something like, you know, a list of flights, maybe like a class which has a list of flights, and then you will just take all these elements and then loop through them. So I'll just show you what I mean. So like this is a card, and this is everything related to that specific to this specific flight trip, I mean. Yeah. So if I click here and again inspect, we will just have a look. You can see that this is the departure time and landing time. But we need some more general. I think a good way to handle this side is to to describe each card basically. So we need we need something more, a little bit more general than just that particular one. So so we have this flights right here, which looks like it's got all our information. However, we don't have the prices, so we have to go a little bit more further up in the hierarchy, I guess you could say. So yeah, just looking. Okay, we have something called inner grid. That could be it. That could be it. So let's just see. Yeah, it looks like that wraps around the whole thing. It does, yeah. So what I will do in this situation when I think I have found something that I can use is that I will copy it. I'll press Command F, and then I'll see, okay, that's 17 of them. So I can press enter. I can see the next one. Okay, that looks fine. Fine. And then I will just, okay, yeah. See if there's any like box, and not box, but you so you can use it. All right, so that is actually how we get each card. I'm calling this one a card. 1 card, 2 card. I'm not really sure if it's even called a card, but you know what I mean. So yeah. Okay, so now that we know this, we can actually go ahead and we will call it rows. So we will just say, I'll call it flight rows to indicate a row. Okay, and then we'll say driver.find, and then we will have instead of element, we will have elements, because we have 17 of them currently. You can click load more results on the website if you like. So we will say get elements by and XPath. There you go. And here we will take the XPath, and I will just do it like this. I can see here that I've actually chosen another XPath. I have chosen the result wrapper, and I'm not really even sure why. My code isn't perfect, so yeah, I'll challenge myself and do it even better this time, because it don't really, it just looks like it's a waste of time on my other screen here. So yeah, we'll just go back here. What was it called? Inner grid. So we will have this. There you go. And right now we are looking for a div, but was it even a div? That's the question. Yeah, it was a div. Okay. Yeah, so we'll find all the divs. So what we will do now is that if we print out the flight rows, we should get each element, which is a Selenium web element, if I'm not wrong. But yeah, we will just see. I think it's called a Selenium web element. So we should get 17 different results right now. I think the next video I'll make inside my living room, where there is natural light. That way it just looks a little better. Because I think it's kind of dark, but still light in here. So yeah. Okay, so if you see this, then you know that you got something. So there should be 17 here. I'm not gonna count them, but yeah, we will just assume there are 17. So what we will do here is that for each of these elements, we will dig into that element, and then we will extract whatever we need in that element. So for that, we make a for loop. So we say for web element, because that is this is a web element. It also says Selenium driver web element. It says here at the bottom. So web element. Oh, didn't work. There you go. So for web element in flight rows. So for each element in this flight rows, what I'm gonna do now is that the Selenium web element don't correspond to the beautiful soup element, because beautiful soup only handles HTML elements. So for that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna say element HTML is equal to the web element from Selenium, and then we'll get the attribute, and then we will say outer HTML. Okay. Oh, and then we will need to parse this into actual HTML so that beautiful soup can understand. So we'll say element soup is equal to beautiful soup, and then we will have the element HTML, and we will use the HTML parser. There you go. Okay, and from here on, we can actually, now that we have the rows, we can go ahead and dig into what do we need here. So we will go back in. So what's interesting about this one? Well, the price is obviously interesting. So that is the first thing that we are going to scrape. And a good idea here, if you want to display the results visually, would be to store it in a data frame or whatever. It's up to you, but that's the way I did it in my last project. So why not do it here? I think it makes perfectly good sense. Yeah, so we're gonna make a list of prices, and right now we'll set it to an empty array. So all right, so you just say price here, and then what we will do is that we're gonna find an element, and then we're gonna the prices element, and then we're gonna extract that price. So if we go back right here, we can again click on inspect. And as you can see, the body ID has changed. So again, we can't use it, unfortunately. That was like if you just copied the XPath, it wouldn't know, Selenium wouldn't know which elements you're talking about. So, all right, so we're gonna click on inspect once more. And as you can see, the ID of this text is also dynamically created. So that sucks. But to work around that, we will look for some other components, elements, and then we will dig into these elements, and then we can still drag out what we need, basically. So it's not a problem that we can't handle. So it's no problem. Okay. So for this, let me just say price person, price total, booking link, class, common book, no. Okay, just search here. Okay, so what I did on my last project was take all of this, and I think the reason for that was because that you can see that you have some different things here, which you could scrape. It's something, what is it even? It's hand luggage, basically. So this one, hand luggage, is included. You can also scrape that as well. So I'm just gonna scrape the whole of this one, and then you can do whatever you want with it. If you want the luggage, I don't think it is that important, so I'm not gonna do that. So what we're gonna do is that we'll take this, and then here we will say temporary price. We could also call it price. No, we will just call it temp price is equal to, and then we will say element soup dot find, and then what we will find is a div. We want to find a div, and which has a class of, and then we'll just go back. Oh, that was not it. Take this one. So we will need that div. So now that we have that, we have the whole we have all of this basically. So from here, what we will do is we get the price. So we'll say price, and then we will have this element, which we already have this element. So we're going to take this element, and then we will find, and what we will find the price. So let's just go ahead and have a look again. we will see. So we're actually looking for this price right here. Okay. So in order to get that price, we need to, again, this was dynamically created, so we cannot use the ID. However, we can use the price text, because even though there are more classes with price text, or at least I think there is, I'm not. Yeah, as you can see, there are a lot. There are 57, and that don't correspond with our 17. So that is a problem. No, it's not, because we are inside the element, and inside that element, this element right here, there is only one class with this, only one span tag with the class of price text. So we can actually just use that one to get the price. So that is what we're going to do. So you say find, then we find the span tag class, and then this was the class, the price text. Okay. So then we can append the prices to that list. Okay. So we will say list of prices, and then we will append the price, and we actually extract the text, because we don't want the element, we want the text inside. Okay. So I'll just add a comment, hand language log it. Yeah, you know what I mean, luggage, hand, your luggage. Okay, if you have some luggage, you can put it in here. All right, if you want that. So that's up to you. That's maybe a challenge for you to go ahead and extract which, is there luggage involved, or is there not. You can see there is one here, and there is also one here, and yeah, you can play around with it yourself. That could be a nice challenge. All right, so hand luggage. I don't know. I know that's not how you spell it, but that doesn't matter right now. All right. So what is interesting? What is more interesting than the price? Well, that could be something like the company, which airline are flying. So as you can see, this one is only Air Serbia, and the next one is Air Serbia and Eurowings. That could be useful if you know that Air Serbia is very good, nice, whatever. So you really want that, you could, tell your when you're scraping that you are only getting the flights from Air Siberia or whatever. So we will go ahead and try that. So in order for us to scrape that, we will again inspect the element, and we can see that there is a class with the code shares airline names. So we will just look for that. Perfect. There's only 17, so there's no problem. Every single one is under here. So that's very easy. So as we did before, we will say company names, and company names is equal to, and element soup find, and we'll just take this right now. There you go, find, and then you will find the code shares airline names. So like this. All right. So that's how we extract that. And don't forget to extract out the text. All right. So we could also make a new list here, list of company names. So that is also empty right now. So we will just append this. append the company names like that. And down here we can, if we want, we can try to print out the company names, and we can also print out the prices. It was not company names, it was the list of company names. So like this. So right here we should get the company names of the round trip and the prices. So let's just go ahead and do that and see if it's working. It's always a good idea to see if it's working sometimes, so you don't get carried away and just they do make a lot of things and you can't really see where does it even go wrong. It's sometimes it's kind of hard to see where the error is actually happening in Selenium. So I recommend that you don't write 100 lines of code without even testing it. So it's always a good idea, because then, I mean, if you just pasted you typed 2 lines of code and it's not working, then you know that something is wrong with these lines of code, or maybe you just have to refactor or whatever. So let's see what is printed for us. So we can see that we have printed. Let me just see, flight rows. All right, so it's actually it printed. It looks like it only printed 2 web elements. So that's interesting, because there are 17. How can that even happen? Sometimes Selenium just lives its own life. I'm not really sure why that happened, because we did it before with the 17 flights, and we saw that there were 17 web elements, but right now there were only 2, and God knows why. So we will just try to do it once more and see if it works, because it might. I can't really tell you why it just stopped there. It was kind of weird. So yeah. Okay, it looks like it's finished, and there you go. As I told you, Selenium sometimes weird. Okay, so we can see that we have Air Siberia, and we see that corresponds with this one, so 2690 Air Siberia. So let's just check if that is the second web element. So, yep, 2690. That is actually the second web element. The reason why I didn't took this one, because there's Flyselskaber, which is Danish for more companies, which is just something Kayak says when they don't want to list out 5 different airline companies. So yeah. Okay. So now that we know this, you can actually apply this to every other every other thing that you want to scrape here. So you could like maybe create 2 different rows. Again, one for the out time here, and the return time, and also the amount of out stops and return stops, and out duration and return duration, and do some analysis on that. If you want me to do some analysis, I mean, there's not really that much analysis here, but if you try to make this a function, and you loop through this function for like, I don't know, 30 days or something, you might see that the flight prices will change, because it's dependent on the day. So that could be an idea. So for that, you would also need to do the same here. So the departure date, you will change that like that, and you will have the departure date. So departure date, dep date, and so on. Um, so you could play around with that, and then you can get some more insights of the destination you're flying to. Is it cheaper now? Is it cheaper in a month? Is it cheaper in 2 weeks? Whatever. There's many possibilities. But I think I will leave it for here for now, because I can see that I have been filming for 45 minutes. I don't know how I spent that long writing so few lines of code. It's actually incredible. Yeah, I thought I could make a whole video where I scraped everything. Like the things I just told you. But yeah, maybe I should just do it quicker, like go through things faster, or else this video will get very long. But I'm not really sure. I think that if you want to explore Python, if you're new to Python rather, then you should probably go watch some other videos, because there is a lot of great content out there with Python tutorials, like simple web scraping like Selenium, whatever. But I think I will be more focusing on things that I think is cool and I don't really see that much on the internet. I have seen some, of course, flight scraping videos. There are a few, but there's not very many, and I just think such a cool idea, and I wanted to show you how you can do it. Um, so the only thing that you really need to do here is to go into search how to install the Chrome driver and whatnot to get set up. If I've showed you that, that would probably be 1.5 hour video with me like explaining everything. And yeah, so yep, I think that was it for me. And som sagt, as I said, oh my god, I just talk Danish. That's my language. So yeah, I'm sorry. I should actually just clip that out, but yeah, I will not clip this video because it just takes too much effort to me. I'm just gonna raw upload this. And maybe in the future, if I have some more time and feel like doing it, I will, cut out the moments where I say something weird, or I don't know. But I think it turned out pretty good. So let me know what you think in the comments, and let me know if I should make another video on how to deploy this on a server. So, or maybe send you an email. That could be a cool idea actually. So like, yeah, as I said, like once a day, just get you an email with the prices, and you can kind of, without going to the website every day, just get an email, check the prices, see, or okay, it's kind of cheap now, maybe I should buy whatever, if there is something that place you want to go, or whatever. I can show you how to do that. There, I have not seen any videos on that particular thing, so I spent a lot of time and effort to get that to work. So I think it would be cool to share it with you guys if you are interested in that. So with that said, I will stop the video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.